A very good morning to all of you. AI bias. Who decides what is fair? My wife decides what is fair. For me. That's a short answer. Well, now for the long and serious answer. I am an orthopedic surgeon. During the day, I replace worn out knees, fix the broken spine, salvage limbs in diabetic patients with severe infection, and correct deformities in children. During the night, I'm an amateur astronomer. You can find me peering through the telescope looking at the stars, the real ones. I conduct astronomy outreach sessions for interested school kids and adults. I also create AI-based computer applications during spare time, one of which is Astra. Astra is a personal knowledge repository with an AI module that runs Gemma 4 locally. One day, I asked Astra a question. I asked, "Hey Astra, can you tell me all the ways in which AI affected me today?" The answer shocked me. It may not shock you, but it will make you sit up, open your eyes wide, and take notice. This is what Astra told me. "Hey Sri, even before you opened your eyes in the morning, AI prioritized your mobile notifications into important and not important, and some of them were hidden from you completely. The smartwatch which told you that you did not sleep very well tonight did not actually measure your sleep. Instead, it made a probabilistic estimate based on millions of sleepers worldwide. On the way to work, you use Google Maps. When the map tells you to take a detour, it is not simply offering you a suggestion. It is in fact orchestrating human movement at a macro scale. At the hospital, you start seeing patients. Patients these days search their symptoms on ChatGPT. They already have a diagnosis, a treatment plan, even the brand of medicine that they need to take. They do not come with an open mind. They come with an algorithmically generated verdict. Back home, you open Swiggy or Zomato. You believe you are choosing your dinner, but in fact you are not. A neural network decides which restaurants come to the top, which specialties are highlighted. The cuisines of your city are curated by a recommendation engine. The food you think is your taste is in fact somebody else's algorithm. And then back home, we meet the elephant in the room, the most powerful AI in our lives. Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. These are not mere entertainment platforms. These are the most sophisticated behavioral engineering systems ever built. Every swipe, every click, every replay, every time your finger lingers on that few extra seconds on that page is recorded, analyzed, and a digital profile created. A map that knows everything about you. Your traits, your likes, your dislikes, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. Not just the likes that you clicked, but the ones you won't even admit out loud. The machine knows them all. And when it shows you something, it is not showing you what you like, it is showing you what will keep you watching. Nobody tells a teenager what to think, but the AI nudges him gently, one reel at a time, one video at a time. One video becomes 10. 10 videos become a belief. Belief becomes public opinion. And public opinion translates into societal and political change. When we woke up in the morning, we thought we were alone with our thoughts. We thought we choose what we think, how to react to our friends, how to treat our patients. But the truth is far more profound. From the moment you wake up to the time you go back to bed, an invisible digital architecture is quietly, relentlessly rewriting the script of your lives. What happens if the algorithm gets it wrong? What happens if AI is not as unbiased as we believe it to be? We think the machine has no caste, no race, no religion, no ego, no political opinion, no personal vengeance. Math does not lie, numbers do not hate, and when we give it a problem, what comes out is the truth. Clean, unbiased, objective truth. Free from the prejudices that haunt the rest of us. That is a comforting thought, but it is also completely wrong. We have succumbed to a dangerous seduction, the belief that technology is a neutral mirror, entirely detached from the prejudices and bigotry of the human condition. Because algorithm is lines of code and math, it must be inherently fair, right? Let me be clear, I am not anti-AI. I build with it. I believe AI can save lives. But precisely because it is so powerful, we may be sleepwalking into a digital dystopia. To find out if AI is biased, we must first understand how AI works. Imagine a vast and dark library containing all of human history, every book ever written, every story ever told, every event that ever occurred, and inside we create an intelligence, a lightning fast intelligence. And we tell it, read all these books, learn from it how the world works, and tell us how to run it tomorrow. What will happen? What will it learn? It will learn from every prejudice in human history, every unfair decision we have taken, every stereotype we have casually repeated, every injustice we have normalized. Did we not plunder? Did we not pillage? Aren't we all hypocrites? The greatest tragedy of the algorithmic age is this. Artificial intelligence, our creation, our prodigal child, does not remove human bias. It preserves it. It polishes it. It scales it. And it hides it behind mathematics. The danger is not that AI is biased like humans. The danger is that AI can hide this bias in infrastructure and become scalable, unappealable. I want to tell you about a patient of mine, a farmer from a nearby village. He came to me with a diabetic infection, a severe and advanced infection, so advanced that it was heavily infested with worms and maggots. The smell alone filled the room, enough to turn most people away in disgust. If you feed this man's clinical data into state-of-the-art medical AI, his demographics, the depth of his ulcer, his blood tests, his Doppler report, the machine will spit out a cold, immediate verdict. Amputate. Mathematically, the AI is correct. It sees the global trend, millions of data points around the world, and it calculates a 99% probability of treatment failure. It sees a lost cause. But the AI does not know this man. I do. I have treated him before. I have held his hand, cleaned his wound. I know something the AI does not. This man heals. Against all statistical odds, his tissues fight back and regenerate. I have seen it with my own eyes more than once. This man possesses an extraordinary, idiosyncratic, utterly defiant capacity to heal. I know his limb can be salvaged because I have salvaged it before. His resilience is an anomaly, a beautiful biological outlier, invisible to the trend. So if we asked AI to decide, this man will lose his limb, his dignity, not because his limb could not be saved, but because his uniqueness was crushed under the weight of the statistical average. If fairness means treating everybody according to a statistical rule, then that fairness can become a cruelty. This anomaly is not limited to medicine. There is that child, that brilliant child in a rural classroom right now being graded by AI. He is judged as weak, not because of his grades, but because his English is different, or his answers less polished. But the machine did not see him on a Sunday afternoon, hunched over a chessboard, seeing 8 moves ahead when the grown-ups could barely count to 3. It did not see him take up a scrambled Rubik's Cube and solve it in under 30 seconds, something he had learned from just watching a YouTube video. The machine told him that he was ordinary. He believed it. Portia Woodruff, an 8-month pregnant woman, was arrested in front of her crying children in Detroit in 2023 for allegedly stealing a car, simply because the city's facial recognition AI misidentified her. In the Netherlands, a fraud prevention algorithm meant to find out about childcare benefits decided that those with a second nationality were committing a fraud. 26,000 families were declared as fraudulent. They lost their benefits. Some families lost homes. More than 1,000 children were separated from their parents. This really happened. The entire Dutch government resigned over the scandal in 2021. In medicine, the cost is a limb. In education, it is a child's confidence. In law and order, it is liberty. In welfare, it is a family's survival. Data can tell you what most people do, what most minds can accomplish, but it can never tell you what the human being in front of you is capable of. This is the blind spot, the lethal blind spot of AI. AI optimizes for the trend. Medicine, education, justice must optimize for the individual. But underneath all of these, there is a deeper, darker truth. Algorithms are written by human engineers. The agenda defined by corporations, which prioritize profit over people, efficiency over empathy. Bias creeps into the very architecture of the code. Through the variables selected, the data used, the very definitions of success. This is bias by design. And when the algorithm makes a mistake, it hides behind a wall of corporate secrecy and mathematical complexity. It becomes invisible, unappealable tyranny. We stand at a defining moment in human history. We are racing towards AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, AI that can match a human being at any intellectual task. The top 5 companies are pouring billions of dollars to get there first. Beyond this, perhaps lies ASI, Artificial Superintelligence. AI that surpasses the combined capacity of all of humanity, a God-level AI. Now tell me this, what is more frightening than a God who is biased? We must realize that there are certain domains of human dignity that are too sacred, such as liberty, justice, mercy, that are simply too sacred to be outsourced to a cold machine. We must recognize that the right to decide for another human being is not automatic, it is earned. What qualifies one human being to decide for another? What qualifies me, a doctor, to decide for my patient? Perhaps it is the sleepless nights we spend holding an ambu bag, breathing life into another human being during COVID. Perhaps it is earned with every bruise from a fall, or with the pain of an aging back. Perhaps it is earned when you know loss for the first time, or when the person sitting in front of you is wincing with pain, is screaming with pain. You know that pain, you feel a part of his pain, and you realize that the decision you take now may well haunt you for the rest of your life. Some 20 years ago, I was a junior doctor working under a neurologist. We had a child in the ICU, an infant with viral encephalitis. The child was not going to survive the night. We tried our best. All his organs had failed, including his kidneys. The child's father, a poor laborer, walked up to my consultant. With tears in his eyes, he pleaded to him, "Sir, please save my child. Take both my kidneys, give it to my child. Please save him." We knew that was not possible. At that time, I had a fleeting thought. I thought, what a silly thing to say. Moments later, I felt ashamed of having that thought. This was a father who was going to lose his child. Nothing he ever said could be silly or even remotely unintelligent. Having had that thought that day haunts me till date. When I make a mistake, my patient can look me in the eye. When AI makes a mistake, whom will he see? Who will take the moral responsibility? The AI company, the coder, the regulator, the society? Who will? To decide for another human being is both the greatest privilege and the greatest burden. It is not to be taken lightly. The weight of it, the true weight of it, can only ever be understood by another human being. The day that I, that you, and all of humanity understand the weight of every decision we take, that is the day that we will be able to answer this question: who decides what is fair? Thank you.